Brothers and sisters, I greet you in the name of Jesus Christ and thank you for serving God in all your categories. I am here after detecting a lot of confusion within the married couples and marriage as a whole. This has confused many people. Even the Christian leaders are not aware of how marriage is practiced, and in so doing they fail to enrich the right information to these Christians, and in the long run they go on messing up and defaulting or making mistakes in the marriage sector. So I am here to remind you that when God created, in the beginning he created Adam and Eve. Jesus reminded the apostles and the Pharisees in Matthew chapter 19. They were asking questions and he reminded them that, don't you know that right from the beginning God created man and woman? Did he create many? He created one. Why did he create one for Adam? He had meaningful intentions. So when we go back to the Old Testament, we find that God didn't take much care. Though he took the precautions to create one woman for Adam, but those who took chances and married two wives like Jacob and others, God took time to watch and see how they proceed in that direction. So when we look at Jacob's marriage, it was full of nothing but sorcery, because Rachel escaped from her father's home with those sorceries and evil spirits right to Jacob's home. So his father was even forced to come down and fetch those gods, take them back home. That is the wife whom Jacob chose by his side. But then the law, or the Jewish law, allowed him to take Leah, but he forced out and took Rachel too as the second wife. But what happened was that which was ungodly. So when you read Deuteronomy chapter 24 from verse 1 to verse 4, it clearly tells us that once a man marries a woman, there was actually a law in place by Moses that when you marry a woman and you find that woman in the long run unsuitable for your desires, then you write a document and expel her from your home. And when you expel her, she's free to marry another man. And that man, if he too is tired of that woman because of certain circumstances or uncontrolled circumstances, he's also free to expel that woman, but with an attachment, as in form of a letter. And after that, if that lady is expelled from that man's home, or if that man dies, then the first man is not supposed to remarry this woman or retake this woman, because that is abominable. So when you look at all those spheres, sorry for some disturbance around, when you find all those spheres and digest them, you come to understand that really God had an intention of creating one woman for one man. And when you go to marriage, chapter 2, it also tells you that why did he create one? He was looking for an orderly family. Yes, that's why he intended to create one wife for Adam. So, when you go further and read 1 Corinthians chapter 7, in fact, you are supposed to read all that chapter. It elaborates all the laws that are connected to true marriage. In fact, it talks about fornication that can separate you with your wife, and secondly, death. It talks about two. If you are to separate with your wife, then you must add these two in mind. Your wife has fornicated, or your husband has fornicated. Two, your husband has died, or your wife has died. Then you are free to get another one. But when when your wife is still around, even when you get misunderstandings, the Lord does not allow you to separate with that woman. The law does not allow you to separate with that woman. And if one of you decides to divorce, you rather go, but never to touch another woman or another man, because the one-in-law is still in existence. You are only free when that one has died or has fornicated with witnesses available. So we must be very careful when taking on certain aspects, because they have laws attached. So children of God, don't leave your wives, don't leave your husbands, because the law does not allow you to do so. That's how it is spelled out. I've given you the books. We're going to cross-check on those books and we'll be acquainted with what I'm talking about.